Howdy, hey, hello, it's McKenna, and this is Munch and Mingle. Welcome to day 3 of our 12 days of podcasting. So happy you're here, so happy to get right into it because once again, I am filming in the morning and the boys are going to wake up any moment. So here we go. Day 3, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about my bread and butter, my favorite topic to talk about outside of everything else we usually talk about on this podcast, trims and treatments. Yes, welcome to McKenna's Beauty Corner. If you don't know, I am a hairstylist. Well, I'm a full-time mom. We know that. Also part-time podcaster apparently, but I also do hair on the side. Now, it's not as regularly as I would like to have it, just because, again, we've got the littles at home. But while I am in the salon, this is my favorite thing to talk about, to do. And so you're going to get it. Just as if you were sitting in my chair, we're going to talk about it. But also, I'm hoping makes you want to go and do this. Whether or not you are in the area and you're sitting in my chair, you can do this at home. You should be doing this at home because your hair is a huge part of you. It's a huge statement of you. And so let's make it look healthy. If it's feeling lackluster, brittle, or just basically non-existent, this is why I love talking about this. This is why I want to help you in this area because that was me. I had the craziest, weakest, finest hair there was, and I hated anybody coming near it with scissors because it would just not grow. And so I was like, why are you going to cut it? I'm already working at what I can to get it to grow, and you're going to just ruin all that progress. Well, I have turned the page. I have seen a new light, and we're going to talk about it. So let's kind of get behind how this kind of all came about. And like I said, we'll get into the techniques and even some of the products I use. So if you need to, you can do this for yourself for the most part. But how did we get here? So it actually happened when I was in hair school. I was going to a Nevada hair school in Provo, and it was actually right as I was beginning the last, well, they call it phase, semester, we'll say. And I had an appointment get with me. My client's name was Amanda. Shout out, love her. But when she sat in my chair, she basically legitimately was like, yeah, I need you to fix my hair. It won't grow. I fried it. I bleached it. I've had so much heat on it, and I need you to fix it. And it was like, okay, sure. So looking at her hair, I could see exactly what she was not wrong. It had been bleached, it was fried, and it was dry. So her hair was not even that long to begin with. I'd say it probably got down to the middle of her neck. And it had that V shape, where it's like longer in the back, shorter on the sides. We all have that. But because of the damage, it also had unintentional layers, like from the breakage. So in this moment, it became very apparent to me like, okay, we need some good old TLC. So I definitely recommended some heavy, heavy hair treatments, but also a trim, which, as you can imagine, she was not happy to hear and was resistant. And that's why I was like, girl, I get you. I know you. I have been where you have been. I see that your hair is already short, but you gotta trust me. I'm gonna get you. We're gonna take care of this. If you just commit to this plan with me, we will get your hair growing and we will get healthy. Thankfully, surprisingly, she did say yes. So that is truly what began our journey. Now, luckily at this time, Aveda had just come out with a new treatment line called Botanical Repair that specifically was like a bonding repair line for the hair. But also at this time, they had what was called a Pramasana treatment, and it included a unique brush that actually exfoliated the scalp. So I used that brush alongside the botanical repair line and gave her a good wash, but also a deep conditioning treatment. And then once we brought her back to the chair, I gave her a baby trim. So since we were working with that V shape, I wanted to work alongside it. I took off probably like a 1/2 inch in the back where her hair was longer, and then just baby like feathering trim on the sides just to let them breathe a little. Now, for all you out there who might be in the same situation and maybe actually have longer hair than Amanda, you can totally go and commit and be like, we are taking away this V shape. We are going to go straight across, maybe even to a bob. That is totally fine if that is what you want to do. And you're like, I just got to start cold turkey. That can help. But in Amanda's case, her front pieces were really short already that there was no way we could make like an actual aesthetically pleasing bob from it. So that's just why we didn't do that. But afterwards, I told Amanda, I was like, you've got to come back every 6 weeks and we will do the same thing every time. Now, as far as home treatments, I definitely prescribed a hair mask. It didn't have to be a name brand like Aveda. I mean, she just got it. And if she was going to be coming every 6 weeks, I mean, I'm trying to remember what was her life. I know she had just gotten married. I don't think they didn't have any kids or anything, but they're working, living that college life. So in that moment, I was like, you just came and we took care of this. I would rather you use a mask than nothing at all. So get anything that's just going to help the in-between before I see you again in 6 weeks. And probably do your hair mask once a week since her hair was finer. And then just as minimal heat as you could. So then she did come back every 6 weeks, but we only got to 3 visits because it was right around the time I was graduating and she was moving. So we only could fit 3 visits in but for that plan. I think, when did we start? September, I think. So by January, if I have that right, like that was her 3rd visit. And y'all, I took pictures. You could see a visible difference in length and thickness and health. I have that picture somewhere on my hair Instagram. I'll see if I can link it below. But it's just so crazy because the first photo in it, that was after her treatment, her wash and style, a blowout. And you could still see like her hair was so brittle, and just know I love her. So when I'm talking about this, like it's all with love, and she knows. We would talk about it like, that's insane. I would blow out her hair and it would just like shrivel back up. It wouldn't even stay straight because it was so fine and so damaged. So that was crazy just to see that alone. But then when we got to January, like it was just long, it was straight, it was letting me style, and it was actually staying there. So it was so awesome to just watch and see that whole transformation. But even to me, I was like, oh my gosh, this actually does work. Because especially at that time in school, I was like, I don't know, like this is kind of just what I've gathered. If someone's hair is like damaged and broken, we got to start from like step 1. It's not going to be like slapping more color or anything on it. No, like we need to take care of the root problem. So fast forward, that stuck with me. And it was about August 2024. I was just itching to get back in the salon. But, we had baby Briggs, and he was still, he wasn't even a year old. So it just didn't feel like it was possible at all, nor right to go back to a salon full time. So that is when I kind of was like, okay, well, what did I love or miss about hair? And I was like, Amanda just, because she's Amanda, I love her so much, that stuck out to me. But I was like, I loved that we did that for her hair. And I know there are other people out there who might spend more money or splurge on getting like a hair color service done and still not getting the result that they're wanting, that you're seeing in whatever your hair inspo is coming from. And I was like, man, if they just had an option to go get like this trim and treatment without having to break the bank or like choose, like, wouldn't that be so great? Because as you know, you go to any salon, if you're just getting a normal haircut, that could be $40 upward. And then to add a treatment on, oh boy. So that's where I kind of just started. I was like, well, if I do this, like set up shop in home, we can keep it on the lower end, but also just give me a way to kind of come back into what is the hair world. So set up shop in my in-laws' basement where we were living in an unfinished like room of their basement. And I started offering what I was calling trim and treatments. And especially in a place like Utah where blonde is queen, that's where I was really hoping like, hey, this is going to kind of appeal to more people. So at the time, I wasn't on social media. So I just was texting everyone on my phone list like, hey, here's what I'm doing. If you want it, like, come see, blah, 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 blah. And people started coming. Shout out to all my friends and family who supported me in this crazy endeavor. But it was so much fun. And it was what we called the bunker salon. And I would just take pictures of everyone's before. And sure enough, the hair just started growing and flowing. So now at this point in our life, we've moved out of my in-laws. I am at a salon in Pleasant Grove, Sand and Sagebrush. Love it. Come see me or anyone else there because everyone's seriously so amazing. But I still am having people come in regularly for their trim and treatments. So that's why I was like, we got to talk about this. I've got to let people know, like, this is a thing. Now, like I told you before, with Amanda, we probably could have gone 1 to 2 more appointments just to get her to the exact length and thickness she was wanting. But obviously the timeline just didn't work out. But what I do recommend for everyone who is starting on this journey to get your hair back to where you want it to be or where it hasn't been before, I recommend every 6 to 8 weeks in the beginning just to get us started, especially just to get you through those first 2 or 3 initial appointments. Then what I've noticed after doing this for now like over a year, after the 3rd appointment, your hair is now flowing and it's like, oh, okay, we can start pushing out those appointments from every 6 to 8 weeks to maybe every 10 to 12 weeks. Because the biggest thing is I don't want you to get to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, my hair's great and it's good. We're going to get into the science behind this, but you still want to make sure that your scalp is getting treated or for sure that you are getting just regular trims. Again, you might not have to do them as often, but we do want to just stay consistent because that's what's going to keep up the vitality, is that the right word, of your hair. So let's talk about the science behind this. I'm going to give you the best watered down version that McKenna can that I learned in hair school and have seen now in the chair. So if you look at one singular hair strand coming out of your scalp, it's in a follicle. Pretty sure. I really hope I get all these terms right. But it's going to meet the surface of your scalp. And when it's coming through, like, we want it to be a smooth transition because the new hair that's coming through is in its baby stage. So I always tell everyone, like, the hair that's closest to the scalp, that is like newborn baby hair. And then as it continues to grow down, we go into like adolescence. It starts getting more strength. While we get kind of mid-length, that's like adulthood, all the way down to wherever your hair ends, that is like geriatric. Like, it's gone through its process of life. It's coming to the end of its life. So I want you to just remember that because that will make sense as when I describe everything we're going through. So if the hair coming out of your scalp is in its newborn stage, it's little baby, it is obviously not going to be fit or have all that strength to fight against too much at the beginning. So, like I said, we want to make it have a comfortable arrival. However, if you have dry skin that is like built up, product built up like dry shampoo, we'll talk about that later, love-hate relationship with dry shampoo, or just normal buildup from other factors like environment or just not even washing your hair that often, it's gonna make for a rough start for this little baby hair. That newborn hair is gonna be put through so much and have so much stress put onto it that one, it's either gonna just break off or it will be so fragile and weak just from that beginning stages that it's going to grow super slow and be super fine to the touch so that any heat or tension applied to it later on in its life it's going to break off that much easier. So I just want you to have that like visual there. So we're going to jump down now to the ends of our hair, that geriatric, beautiful ends of our life hair. Let's just say maybe your scalp was pretty good. You had your hair growing from it and it's been a smooth transition. What can happen though with our ends, just like we talked about, it's already gone through a lot of life. So it's already going to be just a little bit more fragile, but especially that hair in the front, the hair that you see all day and that we touch. That's why a lot of us get that V shape that I was talking about earlier with Amanda, because how many times during the day do you find yourself twiddling the hair on the back of your head? Not often. However, what about that hair on the front? How often are you touching it? How often are you putting it behind your ear? How often are you just like, it's just there? I mean, even when you go to bed, you most likely are laying on your side versus your back. I don't know the whole science or what you should be laying on or what not. I just know the front of your hair is getting a lot of attention. So, not to mention, sorry, I also forgot, if you're pulling your hair back into a ponytail, a bun, even a claw clip, that hair is having constant tension on it. So regardless of where it is in its life, it's going to wear down and just start to break because that's normal. And this is where we start to see split ends. And if we don't take care of the split ends, they're going to continue working up the singular hair. It just kind of works its way up, making one strong strand into two finer, sometimes weaker strands as it's going up. Now let's just put both of those things together. An unkept scalp causing way too much damage and breakage to the hair coming out. And then also your split end warriors tearing up the ends of your hair and working its way up. They're going to basically like hit. Right? That's what I always tell everyone. I'm like, you're basically working against each other. And that is then where you are going to end up with some pretty sad hair. And if, again, you live in a place where blonde is queen and you decide to go slap some bleach on that baby, well, you get the idea. This is where we're at. So enter stage left, trim and treatments. Here is how I feel both causes can be addressed. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through if you're sitting in my chair, because that's just how I'm going to visualize this. So you come in, you sit in my chair, and we're going to say you're dealing with both a bad scalp and bad split ends or just ends, which please do not feel bad about that. So many people are dealing with this. I feel like we were told a lot about trims. At least I felt like I was growing up, like you should always be getting a trim, but we were never still getting again to the root, or should I say the scalp of the problem, if that makes sense. We were never talking about the scalp. And I do believe it is starting to come out a little bit more. I'm seeing more scalp serums and masks. So I'm hoping that it's like, okay, good, we're getting there. Let's address the scalp first though. I bring in that Promesana brush. There might be other scalp exfoliation tools out there. This is the one I prefer. It doesn't break the bank for me, but it also gets you a quality exfoliation. Now, it was exclusively sold through Aveda, and I don't believe they have it on their shelves anymore. You can always go try to buy it secondhand, but just understand the risk that is involved, of course, buying anything secondhand. But let me tell you why I love this brush. So it looks like a normal brush, but when you look closer at the bristles on it, they're not just like straight lines. They are actually like an oval shape. Like it comes out and then comes right back in. So it's an oval. So when I'm moving that in circular motions all around your scalp, it's not tangling the hair, but it's actually just solely focusing on your scalp and breaking up all the buildup that could be on it. Now, like I said, that could be dry skin, which if you live here in Utah, that's just a given. We have such dry air here, especially in the winter. That could be product buildup, leftover dry shampoo. I'm going to tangent here for a second. We need to talk about dry shampoo. If you are a millennial, I believe we all went through that moment of training your hair. Do you remember this? Where we were told, hey, don't wash your hair. It will make it, if by not washing your hair, it will be less oily. true, because what it was saying is the more you are washing your hair, you're making your scalp overproduce oils. And so the less you wash it, it's not going to have to keep overproducing the oils. Thus, your hair will be less oily. Okay, sure. Here's the problem though. Then comes in dry shampoo as you are trying to train your hair. We were not washing our hair. We were dry shampooing it. And what that dry shampoo was doing was, yes, sucking up all the oil that your scalp was producing, but then it was just sitting on your scalp. And then some oil would creep through again and you'd spray some more. I mean, I had a friend who she bought a program or a course on how to train your hair so that you weren't washing your hair for like 28 days, y'all. 28 days, but you were dry shampooing and all that. All that buildup was building up on top of your scalp. No wonder our hair was not growing. Those little baby hairs could not punch through all of that buildup. So now, here's where we're at. I haven't heard a lot of like training your hair anymore. So I'm hoping that is gone away. You do need to wash your hair. You do need those oils on your scalp. That is also another natural hydration to your scalp is that oil. But here's also a great thing. I know we were talking about the brush, but when you shampoo your hair, that's already a natural exfoliant. When you are getting in there with your hands, your nails, and really scrubbing, like that is going to also break down any buildup. So even if you don't go out and buy any type of tool, you have your hands. So when we are washing every day, or not every day, whenever you're washing, hopefully at least once in a week, you are going to naturally be able to exfoliate your scalp. Here is my tried and true rule now, as far as dry shampoo goes. If you can, stay away from aerosols. Look for more powder-based dry shampoos. I know Aveda has one. I have a cute friend who had a business. I'm pretty sure it's still in business. She gave me one, but it's called Powder Baby, and she does all dry shampoo, and it's all powder. Love it. So look for that. But the rule is, the day that you use dry shampoo, whenever that is in your cycle, you have to wash your hair the next day. You do not put more dry shampoo on top of what you already did. If you can do dry shampoo and it's like, hey, it's going to last me for the next 2 days, fine. That's fine. But you have to wash your hair before another application of dry shampoo goes on. You should only be using dry shampoo once because, again, remember, that is going to soak up all the oils. But the longer that stays on your head, on your scalp, the residue, the buildup, the dryness, it's going to work against your hair. So if that's the one thing you hear from this episode today, I'm okay with that. Okay, sorry, back to it. So when we're back with the brush and it's breaking down all the buildup that's on your hair, there's a good chance you're going to see some white flakes. What we might think, oh my gosh, is that dandruff? No, it's just all the buildup. It's the dry skin, whatever. I love it. That's good. It's working. We want to see that. So that when I take you back to the bowl and we start shampooing you, the shampoo is actually going to be able to do what it's supposed to do. It's going to get into the hair follicles rather than just sitting on top of all the buildup. This could be another reason why you would hear shampoo, rinse, repeat is if you don't have that way to like get it exfoliated before. Like we said, you go in, you exfoliate with your own hands, do a good shampoo, rinse, and now you go repeat. And here's another side tool, just a little hair tip. We always talk about leaving hair masks or conditioners on for like a couple minutes. Do the same with your shampoo. If you're going to do the rinse and repeat, do a good scrub before, rinse it, and then repeat. And then let the shampoo just kind of sit on your scalp, even if it's just for an extra minute, just to let it sit and kind of work its magic, okay? Now, as far as hair treatments go, since I'm at, again, Aveda, I go with usually the good hair masks that I see from their line. They do have a new Scalp Solutions line that I love to use. I have the products here at my house. I use them. But I also love the Botanical Repair, which is what we originally used on Amanda. So love those two. I usually look for their masks. And again, we're going to just let that sit. Now, if you don't have access to those exact brands, all I would suggest then is looking for any scalp masks or hydrating masks. I love the intense hydrating mask from Moroccan oil. There's also one at Sally's. Oh my gosh, is it called the Sauce? Does that sound right? It's a green one. It has a black lid. Smells so good. It has like avocado oil, but that one's really good too. Whatever you choose, I want you to let that mask really sit on your hair. 5 minutes minimum, even up to 10. So this is my favorite. Like, you put your mask on, then you get to work. You can start washing your face, shaving your legs, brushing your teeth in the shower. Don't know if that's weird. We do it. I actually learned that from a friend, like her family, because I would sleep over at her house all the time. And when I take a shower, I'm like, why are there toothbrushes in your shower? And she's like, well, if you're in the shower, you might as well just brush your teeth. And I'm like, genius. And now that is what we do. Sorry. Anyway, so this is when you're wanting to do all that stuff. Let the hair mask just sit. If you're in the salon, this is usually when I would lay a hot towel on your head, just to, again, really let it soak into the scalp and the hair shaft itself. Then once we rinse you out, we get your conditioner on, rinse that out again. We bring you back to the chair. And then here comes the trim. We probably will have decided how much to take off before we got to the bowl. But honestly, to all my people out there who are terrified of any scissors coming towards your hair, like I used to be, even if it's just a half inch off the back, baby trim off the side, that's better than nothing. Just imagine your hair is going to be having the biggest sigh of relief that it's like, oh my gosh, I can actually breathe. So we love that. Okay, sorry. My computer screen just was like, hey, we're about to die. I don't think that's true, but just in case, don't you worry. We are prepared. Let me grab this charger and we'll get right back to it. Okay. Are we breathing? There we go. Okay. Back to it. So again, it is better for a baby trim than no trim. Now, I then would proceed to a usual style. And you might ask, well, wait. I thought we were supposed to do minimal heat. Yes, if you are at home and you're doing this, go ahead, let your hair air dry. But if you are at the salon, you are more than welcome to leave with wet hair and just let your hair air dry. But usually I will be putting on some oils or some other leave-in treatments. If you're doing this at home, there's a bunch of leave-in treatments you can always grab. I would say let's hit up Sally's or see if you can get one from a stylist, just because we want to make sure we are getting really, really good stuff on the ends of our hair. You don't need a lot, but let's make sure, even if it's just one, like a good hair oil, let's use that versus just grabbing something we don't know of. So some of my favorites, Matrix, which that one you would probably have to, I think you can get these at Ulta or you can get from a stylist. What is it called? The Food for Thought. It's the green bottle. Love that oil. That's a great one. What's another one I use? I love anything from Alterna, their caviar line. Theirs is super, super great. They have a great hair serum, whatnot. So that's what I'm usually putting on. With Aveda, they have this new Miraculous oil. Love that. They also, Botanical Repair and their Nutriplenish, they also have a leave-in conditioner. So these are the things I'm putting on your hair. And some of them, not all of them, but some are activated by heat. So that's why I would want to bring a blow dryer to your hair. Of course, you'll be getting an all-over blow dry spray applied to your hair, of course, with it. But I also figure if you can leave with a fresh blowout, it's going to help you not have to put heat to your hair over the next day or so, because that style is going to last before you're needing to fix it up. And I also want you to feel and see the difference in your hair from before you sat in the chair, because that's going to be what is going to keep you motivated on this hair recovery journey. That and progress pictures. More times than not, if I know someone's like, hey, I'm in it, let's do the plan, the journey together, then I'm taking the picture. But if you're just doing this at home, if you're just going to like do a one-time stop shop at the salon, take a picture, because that is going to be your biggest telltale sign in seeing the progress. And I promise you, it's going to work. And your hair is going to thank you. My hair used to never grow. I would highlight it, oh my gosh, I think every 2 to 3 months, because I had an aunt who was a hairstylist. I had two. So it was like, yeah, we were going to the salon all the time. Every birthday, Christmas, we were getting hair certificates. So like I had that access, and I would highlight the heck out of it. But it would not grow. Now, oh my goodness. I mean, I used to think the reason I would get pregnant is just so that my hair could grow, because I felt I still was in that place of like, oh my gosh, my hair's not growing. But now this, I would say I really started seeing this when I implemented this on myself. So everything that went through Amanda and before or after that, and before I did the little bunker salon, I started doing this after we had Bo, because I started losing so much hair postpartum. So that is when I really started doing the like scalp treatments, the hydrating masks, and that already just started to like do a difference. But then when I added the trims, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, this actually, yes, again, it's working. My hair now is growing so fast, you guys. I get a balayage now twice a year. That's when I get it. And I like the balayage so that I'm like, I know I'm going to let my hair grow. So that's why I love it for the grow out. But I am no longer afraid of the shears, the scissors, because like my hair and scalp are happy. They're growing, and they're growing, if not as fast, if not faster than when I'm like pregnant, you know? All right, y'all. If you're in the Utah County area, definitely come see me. But if not, I hope I gave you everything that you need to do this, because you can totally do this at home. Okay, maybe not the trim part, which you need. Again, remember, you do need that. So even if you do all the other stuff and then just like you head into a salon, you get an easy breezy little trim, that's great. That's going to help. And I know you will love your hair, because your hair is going to grow and it's going to be so healthy and so happy. And we love that. We want healthy, happy hair. Woo. Okay, there's day 3. My little gift to you. Let's talk hair all the time. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know if you want to come sit in my chair, because I would love to see you. Like I said, I love talking about this stuff. It's so much fun. Okay, have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.